Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny and this is another episode of Friday Sews. Today I'm going to start out by telling you what I'm wearing. I'm not going to show you by standing up, but I will put a picture up here. This is my first entry for the T-shirts for Summer 2021 challenge on Instagram. And the top I'm wearing is Mccalls 7979. I made view A. And I made it a size larger than I normally would because I wanted it to be oversized. So this is, I would normally cut a medium. This one is a large. And I also used this, this fabric is like nylon spandex. So it's that super stretchy, you know what I mean? The stuff that kind of like doesn't hold its shape. So yeah. This was really kind of a wearable muslin just to see if I like this pattern. I'm not 100% sure. I like the top, it's fine. The armholes, because I cut it so big, are a little too open, so I really have to wear a tank under this. Which isn't my favorite thing because I'm always hot. I'm also wearing this skirt that I just made. This is a Burda Easy 6598, and it's just a really super simple tube skirt. I made mine double so that it's lined, but it's lined in the same fabric. That's it for that stuff. Okay, so today, I think my light is off. Oh, that's better. Okay, so today I wanted to answer a question. I've had a couple people ask me how I would define my style, my own personal style, and whether or not I consider it Lagenlook. So, I usually do refer to my style as Lagenlook, but I mean, that's a German word, and I don't speak German, so I looked it up. The definition is layered look. It means, Lagenlook means layered look in German, and has been a popular way of dressing in Europe for some time. This style involves layers and layers of unconventionally shaped clothing, worn one on top of the other to create a one-of-a-kind statement. So if that's the definition of Lagenlook, then I would have to say yes, that is definitely my look. I do like layers. I especially like unconventionally shaped pieces. I really like asymmetry, or yeah, I guess it would just be asymmetry. I don't always wear tons of layers, mostly because either because I don't have the third layer that I really want, or because the weather doesn't permit. I mean, I just get too hot. So, but yeah, I think that would be my definition. I thought I would give you guys just like a quick rundown of some of the like ready-to-wear designers that really inspire me, even though I don't necessarily ever attempt to recreate their exact looks. These are the designers that I'm really drawn to. And the first one is going to be Rundholz. I really love their almost like industrial feel. I will say, I think in Lagenlook you can go like any direction you want. I know a lot of people do a more feminine version, like, and I've done that myself, especially with Tina Gibbons patterns with ruffles and layers of ruffles and things like that. Lately I've been veering more towards the minimal side of that. So Rundholz would be probably my #1 favorite. And then this woman isn't around anymore as a company, but there was a woman out of Australia for a while. Her name was Nicola Waite, and I really loved her style, and I had her pictures from her website like pinned up on my mood board forever. Then let's see, Daniela Gregus is, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. She's a designer out of Italy. I'm in love with everything she does. I especially like her her use of color. she does all the shapes that I like, but her use of color is really amazing, and I'm really drawn to that. Like, I do love Rundholtz, but I don't particularly like wearing black, and a lot of their stuff is in black, although they do like bits and pieces of color here and there. But Daniela Gregas tends to do color, and I really, really appreciate that. Then there is also a company called, and I'm going to butcher this, I don't really know how to say it, Caliana, and I'm putting pictures up here of 1 or 2 items from these people. I just took from their website. I don't know where Caliana is out of, and I don't know anything about that brand. I just know that I really like that style. Once again, sort of minimal, sort of geometric shapes, some asymmetry, and everything is pretty oversized. And color, whoever that is, they use some really bold colors. Pal Offner and a company called By Basics are also 2 that I really like for more like layering pieces, like really simple pieces, like a top or a pair of leggings, like drop crotch leggings, like that kind of thing. They don't have a lot in the way of like full outfits that I am drawn to, but again, really love the color. And let's see, on the more rustic end of it, you have Magnolia Pearl. That is a brand that I have been really drawn to in the past. Once again, I feel like I'm moving away from that a little bit, but I still love looking at the style, and I think her designs are really amazing. Same thing with Bluefish. To me, those 2 have like almost like a hippie kind of feel, and I don't mean that in a bad way. A lot of people who are my age, like in our 50s, think like if you use the term hippie, that's like kind of like, ugh, that's so, I don't know. When I was younger, like in the 80s, it was a derogatory term to call somebody a hippie. I don't really feel that way. I actually really love that look. I just feel it's just much more organic. That's all. It's more organic. And then also there's Ivy Abbott's and gosh, what's her name? I thought I wrote it down here. Krista Larson. Those are also 2 that I really love. I feel like Ivy Abbott's is definitely more of the feminine layered look with ruffles and very sophisticated color palettes. And I would say the same thing about Krista Larson. I think Krista Larson is a little less of the like feminine ruffle kind of situation, and more of like a Diane Erickson, like real artsy kind of look, but very similar. I hope that makes sense. What else? So when I'm looking for a project, I often look at a couple of different websites that I really like, and they're actually stores. There's a place in the UK called Walker's Style, and I'll link to their store below, that I really love looking at their photos. They do photos of the designers they carry, but they do them on women they know. They don't use like stock photos from the designers. They put them on real women, and I really appreciate that. I love seeing them on different sizes and on people with different coloring, and I don't know, I'm just always really inspired by their emails. So if you don't know who they are, look them up and sign up for their emails. They're very inspiring. The other one is a store called La Garçon, and I believe that they're in New York. They have like a very Japanese take on Lagenlook, I think, for a lot of their stuff. And I love looking at their stuff for inspiration too. Also, Santa Fe Dry Goods and a store in, I think it's in Cleveland, called Evie Lou. They all carry very similar kinds of stuff, and there are many other stores I'm sure that carry the same kinds of things. Those are just the ones that I happen to know about. So, in terms of sewing, when I first started sewing this sort of style, which was probably close to 10 years ago, I was using mostly Japanese pattern books that I would buy. I got most of mine off of Etsy, some off of eBay. You can get them a lot more readily in the United States now. I think that they're much more readily available in Australia, although I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know about the UK. In North America, they show up more readily. I know here in the United States, I recently saw a Nanny Arrow sewing book at Joann's, which is like the first time I've ever seen that. Although some of those, I think it's called Tuttle Press, is a company that publishes a lot of those books, and I have noticed that in the last like 5-6 years, they've started publishing a lot more in English. So that was my original foray into this kind of sewing. The problem is that even though that you can get some of those books now, they're still not readily available. They're not everywhere all the time. There's a really great bookstore in San Francisco that has a ton, and there's a decent bookstore, actually the place in, I think it's in Arlington Heights, Illinois. There's a Japanese grocery store that has a book section that's pretty good. Anyways, aside from that, if you don't live in New York or Los Angeles or San Francisco or Chicago, I don't know, maybe they're more available in other places. I just honestly don't know. However, there is a woman out of Canada, I believe her name is Sue Kim. She was originally known for sewing bags, but she has a line of patterns called Mocha, M-O-C-H-A, and I'll link to this below, that are all based on Japanese designs. And if you've ever seen any of those Japanese sewing books, you'll know that the number of styles and shapes they have is actually pretty minimal. You need a few styles and shapes, and then they change them up. So Sue Kim at Mocha does that really well, and she also does it with more Western sizing. So if you're interested in that more Japanese look, I would definitely check her out. Of course, Tina Givens was like my second foray into sewing this kind of look, and she's still one of my favorites. Again, you have a lot of styles and shapes that are similar. I like Tina because she uses a lot of small little details that I probably wouldn't think of myself. Like I said, lately I've been going more towards the minimal look, so I haven't been sewing a lot of Tina just because I think the beauty in her garments really is the details, and I've been looking more for, I don't know, something more linear, if that makes sense. So the others, obviously I have a bit of a thing for Rachel Comey lately. I do like Rachel Comey's ready-to-wear line, but not nearly as much as her patterns. I really like her patterns a lot. In fact, I just ordered a new, another one that's no longer in print. I ordered off of eBay. And the same thing with Koos Vandenacker. You can sometimes get Koos off of eBay. They're no longer available on the Something Delightful website, I don't think. Although his style is very much like this. Of course, Marcy and Catherine Tilton. Sandra Betzina has a lot of patterns that are very Lagenlook friendly. If you can't find anything in the current catalog, certainly some of her older patterns, but especially like her knits, I feel like are. Anyways, I've had some really good luck with Tom and Linda Platt, also Vogue. And then Simplicity has some really good like basics, things that I would sort of compare to like the Pal Offner kind of look, like just really simple basic shapes that you can use for layering. And I went over a bunch of those in a little haul I had a while back, and I will leave a link to that below if you want to go take a look at that. The Sewing Workshop has been around for a really long time. They're one of my favorite pattern companies. Not only do Linda's patterns sort of lend themselves to the Lagenlook feel, like some of them are just like are really made for that. And her instructions, if you've ever used one of hers, you already know, but her instructions are amazing. I actually really love making Linda Lee's patterns, and she's the Sewing Workshop. a couple of other places that you might not, well, of course, Trish Newberry, who we just have been talking about because my next sew along after next Tuesday for a t-shirt dress will be a Trish Newberry design, and I really, not all of her patterns fit the look, but definitely a lot of them do definitely fit into the Lagenlook sort of scheme of things. So if you haven't checked her out yet, definitely do that. We do have a coupon code if you want to buy the Metro dress. It is Big Sew, all caps. And you can get that for 25% off, like right now. So anyways, sorry, that was a shameless plug. Style Arc patterns also have a ton of patterns that are really Lagenlook friendly, as does Tessuti. For some reason, I feel like the Australians sort of have this look down. And so most Australian pattern companies are ones that I look to for this kind of thing. Another one, and I might be wrong, the Sewing Revival, I want to say she's Australian, but she might be from New Zealand. In any case, similar part of the world, and for some reason I feel like those designers there really get this look, and I'm not sure why that is, but check them out. And aside from that, you know, obviously the designers that we've done here as sew-alongs, like BMann and Opal Annie and Pearl Red Moon, and all of those people are all good sources. And if you're interested in seeing any of those sew-alongs that I've done for those, then I will link them all below. So I guess that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you guys all on Tuesday when we will be sewing Simplicity something. It's a shirt. Simplicity 9044. Alright guys, until then, happy sewing, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.